So let's talk about how we're going to join the pieces and rows of our wool of stitches bricks together. So we're going to use the same join for each individual piece, as well as joining each set of rows together as well. And that's the flat braid join. I think I referred to this as the slip stitch join before, because it essentially just creates this braid of slip stitches over your pieces and creates this raised ridge. And this is a crochet join. I hate sewing, so I will always crochet a join if I can. But I think this helps create this look of mortar between bricks. Let's take a look at how we're going to join this together and how the flat braid stitch works. Okay, so to join your pieces together using the flat braid stitch, you're going to lay your pieces next to each other. So I'm just showing you on some spare pieces I've got. So joining your individual pieces together, you're going to start in the corner stitch. So of the 3 stitches you have around that corner, you're going to start in the middle one. So you're going to push your hook into the top loops of that middle stitch. So if you're right-handed, you're going to start with the right piece. If you're left-handed, you'll start with the left piece. And push your hook through both those loops, top to bottom. And then do the same with the piece on the opposite side. Push through the loops top to bottom. So I haven't got any corner stitches on these pieces, so you're not seeing things. I'm just showing you how it works. Okay, so then get your joining yarn. And you want this to be sitting in the middle of your pieces. Make sure you have a long tail to start with because it's really easy to kind of pull this all through. And so once you've got your joining yarn, you're just going to pull it through both those sets of loops. And now you go to the next stitch and you do the same. Insert through both loops from top to bottom. Go over to the other side, make sure you're working over the top of your joining yarn, keep it in the middle of your pieces, and push your hook from top to bottom. Just give this a tug to make sure it doesn't come through. Yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. And what you're going to get is this slip stitch looking like stitch coming through. Okay, so I'm going to pull that tail tight and through. And you continue that all the way up your pieces. Just keeping that joining yarn in the middle, working through both loops of that side. And just keep going all the way up. If I pull it down, you can see you've got the loops coming through on this side for that one, and you get this slip stitch like look coming over the top, so it does sit on top as a ridge. So I always recommend having both your borders and your joining stitch as the same colour, and then it becomes this really pretty like braid going up your pieces. So you start your joining in the corner stitch, you're going to finish in the corner stitch. So when you're joining the pieces together, you'll have 20 flat braid stitches in total from corner to corner. And then just keep going up your pieces. And just keep hold of your joining yarn as you go. It's quite rhythmic once you get into the habit of it. Okay, so what do we do about then joining pieces across the top of the row? So to join your rows of pieces together, your strips, you're also going to be counting from the middle corner stitch. So because we're staggering the edges, you begin your count from that corner stitch, and then you're either going to start joining from the corner stitch, or you're going to start joining 18 stitches across. So when you do your count, you count from that corner, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and just mark that stitch. Okay, so you will join the corner stitch of the next strip to that stitch 18. And the 18th stitch across that piece is where you start joining it, and you do that for all of your staggers. So you will start and end with 18 stitches remaining on each strip. But what do you do when you get to one of these joins? Okay, so black yarn is not the best. So, okay, so when you join your pieces together, it's going to look like this. And although you're joined into the corner stitches, your pieces probably aren't pulled all the way together. And that's just fine. Don't worry about it. So when you're going to join your strips together with the stripper bow, you're joining the two edges. But what do you do when you get to a join? And it's really quite simple. And you just keep on going. So I'm just going to quickly just start this join between these two pieces. Just to start just a few stitches back and get these joined together. And so you just keep on going. And when you get to the join between two pieces, you're going to work into that corner stitch again. So on each side, you work into that corner stitch. So it's going to have two sets of flat braid stitches into it in that corner stitch. The one where you joined your individual piece together and one where you joined the strips together. And you do the same on the other side. Sometimes you've got to search for it a little bit. It gets hidden beneath that stitch. But it is workable. So I'll just do a couple of stitches on the other side and I'll show you how it pulls together. So you can see how the different colours are being visible here, which is why you really should use the same colour for all your joining. Okay. So those pieces are now really nicely pulled together. Your flat braid join here will meet the one coming across here. If it's all the same colour, you're not going to see what's going on with this join here. But it just shows you how it's constructed. You will get this ridge on one side from this piece here, and your flat braid sits across the top. But because you see, I've got the border here, so I've got this blue border on both pieces, and you can't see it. You cannot see that ridge on this side because it's the same colour. It just doesn't show. You've just got your flat braid across the top, and that join between those two pieces is now hidden. If you use the same colours for all of your borders and your flat braid, it's all going to become invisible and you're just going to get this raised ridge across the top. If I just go back to these, black is not the best to show on camera. It looks really good, finished product, but on camera it looks awful. But the flat braid, it's just a raised ridge. You can see braided stitch, but everything else is nice and hidden. You don't see anything else. And it's the same between the pieces. So if you take a look at these photos from the finished thing, it's all good. Now what about if your pieces look like different sizes like this? I just zoom out for a second. Now you see these two pieces do not look like they should go together. This one is much thinner in the middle than this one. Joining is going to help stretch everything out. All these pieces have enough give in them that everything will settle once joined, and actually adding the borders and the joining just pulls everything into shape. So this piece starts out pretty ugly, but it's going to come into shape. I remade this in a different colour because I got my colours all wrong. So this is in the final Wool of Stitches blanket, but everything does fit together nicely. So just trust the process and join everything together anyway. As long as you are keeping your tension consistent between pieces, this isn't something to worry about. It will all come right at the end. But that's how you go ahead and join all your pieces and all your strips together for the Wool of Stitches crochet along. And as always, if you have any questions, please do come over to the Facebook group, Froggity Frogs Ribbit and Stitch, and you'll get all the answers you need there.